now my clients wanted to sue me. These are the small things that make a difference between booking appointments and not booking appointments. You want to ask them qualifying questions. Once we have kind of a solid base layer, how to get your clients' leads to show up. So I've been hanging out in Discords, and over again, I've been hearing, hey, I'm getting a lot of leads, but the leads aren't booking, or the leads are booking, but they aren't showing up. And if you've ever struggled with one of those two issues, this video is for you, because I'm going to show you the exact scripts that I used in order to get my clients' leads to actually show up to their appointments and close while they're at those appointments, okay? So in 2022, I sold 5 gyms on a lead generation offer, and after overcoming some small obstacles, my ads were performing extremely well. Finally, I could relax and get back to scaling my agency, or so I thought. About 6 weeks later, I genuinely believed my world was coming to an end. Only one of the gyms that I was working with was actually making money, and they blamed no-shows and low-quality leads. And I bought into their feedback, I believed them. So I began to split test like crazy and make landing pages to try and desperately solve this problem, but nothing worked. And now my clients wanted to sue me for scamming them because I charged them a lot of money to work with me and they weren't getting the results. So rightfully so, they were mad. Now, with my back against the wall, I offered to begin calling the leads for one of my clients because I needed to figure out why they weren't showing up to appointments and how low quality these leads were. So I began to dial. And within the first week, I had tripled this online personal trainer's entire business. And that was when I realized that it wasn't the no-shows and it wasn't the low quality leads that was the problem. They sucked at sales. And in this video, I'm going to break down the sales script that I use to dramatically reduce no-shows and close more deals for my clients. So whether you're calling the leads for your client or need a resource to provide them with support, this is for you. So I'm going to jump into the Google Doc and show you guys the actual exact script that I used in this process. Okay, so this is the script and I'm going to break it down for you line by line. So first thing, you're calling the lead and all of a sudden they answer, hey, prospect name? And you want to say that in a tonality as if it's a question. Even though you're just saying, hey, Joe, it's not, hey, Joe, it's, hey, Joe. You're asking it as a question. Joe's going to be like, yes. And then you can say, hey, and I used multiple Y's here for a reason. Because it's not like, hey, it's Dylan. It's, hey, it's Dylan. You kind of want to extend that, hey, friendly, right? These are the small things that make a difference between booking appointments and not booking appointments. This is what separates good appointment setters from bad appointment setters. It's the small things, right? It's like 90% of communication isn't the words that we say, it's how we say the words, okay? And that is why these little things are going to make all the difference when it comes to being able to actually book appointments. So, hey, it's Dylan from insert your client's business. Hey, it's Dylan from XYZ Gym. Then you want to ask this next question, kind of like in a question, kind of like in a skepticism tone. I saw you responded to our offer there on Facebook. I saw you responded to our 6-week transformation there on Facebook. I saw you responded to our free consultation there on Facebook. We wait for a response. They're going to say yes. If they say no, you can be like, really? I have your name down right here. We're running, and then you can describe the ad that you're running and whatnot. They're going to be like, oh, yes, I remember. Okay, and then after that, awesome. Well, I'm just calling the people who reached out to us to share a little bit more about this before potentially setting them up to speak with our owner, whatever your client's name is. Is now an okay time? Now, the reason you want to say that in this way is because you want to position yourself as like the innocent assistant behind the desk whose job is to call people, right? You don't want to position yourself as like a salesman. You don't want to position yourself as the owner itself, right? Typically you want to say you want to position yourself as like the innocent, little worker. Awesome. I'm just calling the people who reached out to us to share a little bit more info about this before potentially setting them up to speak with our owner, Susie. Is now an okay time? Yes. Okay. Now you want to ask them qualifying questions. So in this case, it was a gym and we were selling a sports program. So what sports what sport does your child play? What are their goals? And if they give some surface level, I want them to lose weight. Lose weight? Get them to dive in a little bit deeper to further explain their situation. Okay. What are challenges that you guys are facing? Okay. So why do you want to lose weight? Is there real hidden, specific reason as to why you guys want to lose weight beyond the obvious, you could say? And that's really, you really just want to continue digging, how is this impacting their life? What would achieving that goal do for you? Is it impacting the way you think and feel? And have they done much exercise in the past? Have you worked with any other trainers? Okay. Now, these are the questions that you want to ask. These are the questions that you want answered, but these aren't how you ask the questions, okay? And this is where, again, you use your brain, like you use your autonomous thinking brain. You don't follow this to script, right? Remember, these are the answers you're looking for, not the questions you're asking, okay? Remember that. These are the answers you're looking for, not the questions you're asking. So do not follow this word for word. You want to come up with the questions on the ball in a very casual, conversational manner that will yield these answers, okay? So you don't say, how is this impacting your life? If somebody says they want to lose weight, and they want to get faster, oh, is that affecting your play at all? Right? That's a more relevant way if you're talking into the sports world. And that is kind of how you want to have the conversations. Again, this is what's going to separate, good appointment setters from bad appointment setters, okay? The next thing that you can do is you can insert a relevant case study. No way you're actually just like X who did Y and now they're at Z. You can just do a little case study there. Okay, so after you've asked these questions and inserted a relevant case study, you want to ask them your transition question, which is, have you heard of client name before, right? Have you heard of XYZ gym before? Have you heard of dental office before? Whatever the case may be, okay? And then after they say yes, awesome. Well, I'll fill you in on what we're doing today. Awesome. Well, I'll get you up to speed on what we got going on. Awesome. Well, you just want to, something casual. Don't follow a script. Use this as a framework. If you follow a script, you're going to sound like a robot. And if you sound like a robot, nobody is going to want to do business with you, right? People do business with people. And if you don't sound like another person, they're not going to want to do business with you. Remember that, okay? So, getting into seldom the vacation. So what I did is I always created point form notes on, why they should trust the trainer, like social proof about the gym, and then the deliverables as to what they get. So if I was on a phone right now, this is what I would do. Okay, so have you heard of XYZ gym before? Oh, yes, it is. Awesome. Well, I'll fill you in a little bit about kind of what we got going on here. So we have a variety of trainers that really just specialize in working with youth athletes. And I don't know if you know this, but some of us know us for kind of the pro NHL players, Olympians, mountain bikers, and golfers that we've worked with. But in reality, most of the members that we work with on a day-to-day basis are just, your typical youth athletes, typical, amateur athletes, and they come up here to build their own athletic careers. So what we kind of offer here is first of all, we have our Build Your Mental Muscles workshop, which is really when we dive into the mental training side of things when it comes to sports and, everything revolving around that. And then, once we have kind of a solid base layer with your mind, then we can move on to the more physical aspects of improving your athletic play, that is done through our strength and conditioning program. And then we also provide nutrition help for all of our athletes, because those two go hand in hand. And with, one without the other, you're only going to get 50% of the results. And the last thing that we do, just to really, make this more of like a community aspect and not really just like a, something that you come and then you leave, because that's not really what we have much interest in, is that we regularly do social outings, and we always are bringing in our pro athletes to, give talks and meetups and, really just help inspire that next generation of youth. Does that all make sense? That is how I would say that, right? I didn't follow the script, point form, made it up on the spot. That's how you want to do that, okay? After you give them the rundown, you can ask them, what part of this program interests you the most? Oh, I like this. Why? Right? Figure out what they're interested in. Right? Figure out why they're interested in that. And then after they've told you a little bit about that, you can say, let's book you in to speak with owner name. Let's book you in to speak with Susie. Perfect. Sounds good. Awesome. Okay. So just a heads up, and sometimes I'd make the joke, awesome. Well, you're going to hate me for this. Is that okay? They'd be like, yeah, that's what's up. Well, I'm just the guy who, my job is just to call people who reached out to us. So because of that, I don't know the exact price as to what it's going to cost you. That is why you're going to speak with owner Susie. She'll be able to really assess where you and your athlete are at, what you guys need, and what the best roadmap for you guys is. So until you guys have that conversation, there's no way for me to put a number on things, but I can tell you that memberships start at $30 a week. Is that okay? They'll be like, yes. Especially if you preface it with saying you're going to hate me all the time, they'll be like, yes. Now, you book them in for appointment. Okay, 2 p.m. Last thing you want to say is, awesome. Now, can I ask you a quick favor before we go? You'll be like, yeah, for sure. So we actually limit the number of free consults to 2 a day, and we do this so our trainers can do their job and focus on current clients. And by giving you this spot, it is taking it away from somebody else. So do you mind if I just have your full commitment to be able to show up? They'll be like, yes. No, oh, for sure. And listen, don't get me wrong. I'm a human too. I understand life happens. If totally necessary, we can reschedule. I just would appreciate if you guys let me know, because we're also going to be sending you texts to remind you from now until then. Perfect. Awesome. I trust you to show up. Saying you trust them to show up is key. That alone will increase your show rate. That word right there. I trust you to show up. Now, if you call them and they don't answer, voicemail script real quick. Hey, name. This is ISA name with client name, and I saw you responded to our ad on social media to hear more about our youth fitness. So I was just calling to see if you had any interest in setting up a free consult. Please let me know. Thanks. You can just keep it simple like that. Alrighty. So that is how you call up leads for your client. Now, if you want free help in order to get you to 5K a month, and you're thinking like, why would I take the time out of my day to help you for free in order to get you to 5K a month? Well, because I partner with agencies doing 5 to 15K a month, and the more people that I can get to 5K a month, the more leads that I have. So if you want free help in order to get 5K a month, check the links in the description. I got a Discord community. I hop in there occasionally, help people out, and then I also have the 30 days to first client challenge. Round 1, the average person got their first client in 13.84 days, but that is not a claim. That is simply me just stating past results, and I'm not going to say that's an expectation of future results. I'm just letting you know the numbers. If you're interested in either of those two things, check the links in the description, and I hope to have the opportunity to talk to you one day. With that, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.